What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here with your $1,400 third stimulus check update and third stimulus package update. Things almost couldn't be worse in Congress between the Republicans and the Democrats at this point. After the riots and the election, and the Republicans trying to overturn the election results, and the Democrats basically resenting them for it, things just could not be worse between the Republicans and the Democrats. We're expecting to get not a single vote from the Republicans on the third stimulus check package vote, which is expected to happen now within the next 24 hours. I'm going to give you all the latest details of that and the third stimulus check and the third stimulus package in this video. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below. It's completely free to do so. And join our family of subscribers, our extended family, we call you guys, as we share all this information with you. It's completely free. And don't forget to hit the like button for us. It really helps out our channel. To say that the Democrats and the Republicans are feuding not only amongst themselves, but between each other and also over the third stimulus check package would be a subtle understatement. As you can see here, Democrats accuse Republicans of nothing short of sabotaging the nation's democracy with false claims that the November election was, quote, stolen from former President Donald Trump. Already angry that the refusal by some Republicans to wear masks to prevent the spread of COVID-19 was endangering lives, Democrats now see the Republicans as directly putting lawmakers' lives on the line with dangerous rhetoric that feeds outlandish conspiracy theories. Democratic Representative Dan Kildee from Michigan says, quote, "It's impossible for us to not look at them in a different light." He said in regards to the 139 Republicans who voted to reverse the election results. Bad blood reached a new level Tuesday night when Representative Sean Casten, a Democrat from Illinois, took the highly unusual step of forcing a full floor vote on an uncontroversial bill just to name a Mississippi post office because it was authored by a Republican who voted to overturn the election. It was all equally evident during a Postal Service hearing on Wednesday as furious Representative Jerry Connolly, Democrat from Virginia, lashed out at top Trump ally Representative Jim Jordan from Ohio, who accused Democrats of attacking Postmaster Louis DeJoy last year simply to damage Trump's reelection chances. Jim Jordan said, quote, "It was all a charade." Well, they snapped back at him and said, "I didn't vote to overturn an election, and I will not be lectured by people who did about partisanship." So, yeah, basically the Democrats and the Republicans are feuding almost daily in the Capitol at this point. And some people say that the Republicans are not going to vote on the third stimulus check package or not vote yes on it, simply to spite Democrats, because Democrats even thought of passing the third stimulus check package with the reconciliation process and basically without any Republican support at all. So Republicans are kind of like throwing that back in their face and refusing to vote yes on it because Democrats even thought to do this. However, the Republicans did this as soon as they got control of the Senate back in 2016 and 2017 underneath newly then President Trump, when they tried to repeal the Affordable Care Act and when they passed the 2017 Trump tax cuts. So Republicans just recently used the reconciliation bill. Democrats are going to use it on the third stimulus check package and likely pass this bill without any Republican support at all. But it does not look like bipartisanship is in the future for anything anytime soon. Democrats are actually having a hard time keeping their own people in line to vote for the third stimulus check package because of one minor detail. You know, that $15 an hour minimum wage bill. There's now possibly 3 Democrats from the Senate that could vote no if the $15 an hour minimum wage bill is in there. And if any single one of them votes no, well, that's going to cause a big problem because they won't be able to pass the package with a single no vote from Democrats, and they may have to take out the $15 minimum wage or amend it possibly to $10 an hour minimum wage, which is still 50% higher than the current 725. And we do have a Republican counter proposal from namely Mitt Romney and Tom Cotton for $10 an hour minimum wage, which might have to be what ends up happening. We're also expecting today to hear from the Senate parliamentarian on whether or not the $15 an hour minimum wage can even be in this third stimulus check package bill because they're passing it through the reconciliation process, which means it has to affect the budget. So we could have some really big news today. However, a lot of people, such as Florida, who passed a $15 an hour minimum wage, however, it doesn't go up to $15 an hour until 2026. It goes up gradually until then. We are starting to see $15 an hour minimum wage in certain different places, such as Florida, who has passed this bill, but yeah, it's still going to take 5 more years to get to that point. However, Walmart, who is one of the largest employers in the United States, literally just announced that they're going to raise minimum wage, or I shouldn't say minimum wage in this case. I should say the wage for Walmart's employees to about half of their entire workforce to an average of $15 an hour, giving a raise to 425,000 workers announced just this week and will kick in within the next few weeks. However, Senator Bernie Sanders, who's the Senate Budget Chairman, says that's not enough. He says, quote, the owners of Walmart, the Walton family, are the richest family in the country. They're worth $200 billion. They currently pay at least half their workers less than $15 an hour. That is absurd. The richest family in America can afford to pay their workers a living wage. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. I personally thought it was a pretty good thing that Walmart was giving a raise to 425,000 people just announced this week, and they will be averaging $15 an hour minimum wage to those people, and to I think it's for their whole company as an average. So some people will be below and some people will be above. But then you see Bernie Sanders, and it's like he's not happy at all. But I can't blame Bernie Sanders. I don't know if I agree with him. I almost have to side a little bit with Walmart here. Like they're stepping up and they're giving raises to hundreds of thousands of people. I think that's a good thing. I want to congratulate them. But Bernie Sanders is a smart guy. Okay. He knows that like political pressure is what leads to these things happening. For example, if nobody was pressuring Walmart to give people raises and to make drastic cuts and this movement for higher minimum wage, if nobody was talking about it, it probably wouldn't be happening. Just like the $10,000 student loan forgiveness that a lot of Democrats are pushing for more, and Joe Biden says, "Well, I'm at least going to do 10,000. I mean, I'm at least going to do 10,000." A few years ago, that was a complete fairy tale, and the only reason we even got to that point where he says, "Okay, I'm willing to do 10,000," is because of political pressure and support and people pushing for it. So Bernie Sanders is a smart guy, so maybe he's kind of secretly happy that they've raised their minimum wage on, Walmart, just one specific company. But he's pushing for more because, well, that's how you get results. So can let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. But this political pressure and people pushing, to have reform or to have changes is how changes get done. Very few times do we see change happen in the House or the Senate or in Congress or in America for that matter without a movement towards it. Okay. So the bigger the movement, the more likely the results. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now with the third stimulus check package from the Democrats. We're seeing the opposite from the Republicans. Republicans are like, we're not voting for that. It is what it is, right? But we're seeing a large movement from Democrats. They're like, hey, we got to stick together. We got to vote for this. And we're also seeing a large movement on student loan forgiveness of $10,000 at least per person. And that is probably going to be a very real reality that is going to be coming after this third stimulus check package because literally, and I showed you guys on this channel, President Biden himself says he's not willing to do 50,000, but he is willing to do 10,000. So it's like, all right, we already have 10,000, like kind of almost guaranteed there. I mean, if the president says he's willing to do it, it's just really a matter of how do they pass it? Do they do it through a budget reconciliation process? Do they do it through a bill? Do they do it through an executive order? And then how much will it be? That's one of the stimulus packages or bills we'll be seeing after this third stimulus check package. But really, the fight right now, at this particular moment, on this particular day, the major fight right now is over the $15 an hour minimum wage. Whether or not that's going to make it all the way to the finish line, or if they're going to have to amend it because they can't get all the Democrats to vote for it, they may have to amend it down to $10 or $11 an hour, or they may have to remove it at all. And if they remove it at all, or the Senate parliamentarian says no, it can't be in that package, that's very bad news because that means then you need Republican support to pass it. And well, the only way that will probably happen is to get Mitt Romney and them on board and to go with his plan of $10 an hour minimum wage. Here's the House Budget Committee chairman on the minimum wage bill being in the third stimulus check package and the details.
I got to be candid here. There's a real partisan debate that has emerged on minimum wage that's a part of this $1.9 trillion stimulus deal. You heard it right there from the Fed chairman, the need for more economic support. When can that minimum wage get raised?
Well, we hope in a couple weeks. We're going to put it in, it's in the House bill that we're going to pass on Friday night, taking it to $15 an hour by 2025. And it may face some challenges in the Senate, but we're going to pass it here in the House and see what the Senate does with it.
When you hear Republicans say that the minimum wage is just something that financially the country nor small businesses can afford, what is your response to that criticism?
Well, my response is that, 6-8 months ago, we were paying tribute, honoring people like the grocery shelf stockers and bus drivers and sanitation workers and people who were doing jobs that we never thought were really critical, and now we found out that they're critical. And I think now it's time that we actually reward them financially for the important work that they're doing. But beyond those people, we haven't raised the federal minimum wage since 2007. That was my first month on the job here. And meanwhile, most areas of the country are already at $10, $11, $12 an hour or more. So what we found in places like Seattle and other places is that when you raise the minimum wage, the economy actually prospers. You have so many more people who are out being spenders, and all of that money goes back into those economies, and it ends up being a growth stimulus proposal and not something that kills jobs.
I was struck by this, that in addition to the minimum wage, the Republicans are also raising the issue that they feel that they don't want to have to bail out states that they argue are controlled by Democrats, and that quite frankly that they shouldn't be, that their taxpayer constituents shouldn't be on the hook for it. What's your, do you agree? I take it you don't agree with that assessment.
No, I had a meeting the other day with the U.S. Conference of Mayors, for instance. There were a lot of Republicans on that Zoom meeting, and all of them are very enthusiastic about this package. People like Jim Justice in West Virginia and Asa Hutchinson in Arkansas, very, very red states, think this is a good idea. They need the help. And, I know that the states have differed in how much revenue they've lost, but every state has suffered an economic impact. And the money that we're providing here doesn't just go to make up for lost revenues. It also enables states to do things that help save businesses and help save institutions in their community and their state. So this is something that is way beyond just replacing tax revenue. And again, I don't think we have red roads and blue roads. At least I haven't seen many, or red water systems or blue water systems, or red schools or blue schools. And that's the way we're looking at this. Every state has been impacted.
Chairman Yarmuth, I always find this fascinating that you were actually the congressman for for Leader McConnell's congressional district. I never knew that until my show prep this morning. How's that relationship?
Well, I've known Mitch for a long time, since 1968. I was a Republican, actually, until 1985. We've obviously gone in very different directions since then. We're civil, we get along, but on policy, we're poles apart, as you would say.
All right, I got to ask you one more question. Just I know you're tight on time, but before I let you go, could a COVID stimulus find passage along with a budget vote to get into the weeds here?
Yeah, we're doing it with the budget reconciliation process. We're going to Rules Committee on Friday morning. We're bringing the budget reconciliation, the bill, the American Rescue Plan, to the floor Friday night. And we'll pass it and then send it along to the Senate. The Senate will do with it what it will next week, and presumably we'll get it back the week of March 8th, and then we'll get it signed into law.
So yeah, as you've seen there, we are expecting the final vote in the US House of Representatives within the next 24 hours. We're also expecting the Senate parliamentarian to give us her ruling on whether or not a minimum wage increase can even be in this third stimulus package bill. If she says no, that changes things dramatically because they're going to have to pass this bill without it. So that's going to be a big sting to Democrats. And, Democrats are all for this. Well, 98% of them. If they don't get 100% of them in the Senate, well, then they're going to probably have to negotiate with Republicans or negotiate with themselves, I should say, to get a lower minimum wage. I personally think that they might have to do a $10 to $11 an hour minimum wage, which in my opinion is still pretty good. That's 50% or more higher than what it is now. I mean, a 50% raise over the next couple years is a lot. 50%. I mean, it's way more than normal. So I don't know if they're going to be able to pass the $15 an hour minimum wage. I think we might see, if we see a couple of these Democratic senators get together and vote together, so it's not just one person standing up and saying that they're against the $15 an hour minimum wage. That'll be it. That'll be lights out for the $15 an hour minimum wage. If that doesn't happen, well, then we just might see it pass. But regardless, they'll pass this third stimulus check package with or without the minimum wage. With if they have to take it out, that may cause an extra few days of delay. But the real question is will the $15 an hour minimum wage make it all the way to the finish line with the third stimulus check package? I will keep you updated. Make sure to subscribe down below. Click the bell icon after you subscribe to get notifications when we go live. New videos come out every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., 8 p.m., and 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't miss any videos because we are going to have a lot of huge news coming out within the next 24 hours, and I will keep you updated. You can click this top video here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. And this video teaches you how to start your own business selling products on Amazon FBA. I have dozens of students that have replaced their 9-to-5 income selling products on Amazon, and I teach them how to do that. Click on one of those videos to watch them next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.